Welcome to my channel Old Valuable Coins. Have you ever checked your half-dollar coins? Some of them could be worth millions. The rarest and most valuable half-dollar coins from the United States include the 1838 O-capped bust half-dollar, which sold for over $4 million, and the 1794 flowing hair half-dollar, valued at more than $1.8 million. Even the 1964 Kennedy half-dollar struck in special silver proof can be worth thousands today. Collectors hunt for these coins because of their low mintage, mint errors, and historical significance. So, check your change. That half-dollar in your hand might just be a hidden treasure worth a fortune. First up, the 1971 half-dollar coin from the United States is one of the most talked about coins among collectors and coin enthusiasts around the world. This coin holds historical value, minting significance, and potential collector worth that makes it a favorite subject in the numismatic community. Today, let's take a deep look at everything about the 1971 half-dollar coin, its background, design, metal composition, mint marks, errors, and what makes certain pieces worth far more than face value. If you own or have ever come across a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar, this information will help you understand how to check if it's a rare and valuable coin. The 1971 half-dollar features the image of President John F. Kennedy on the obverse side. The portrait of Kennedy was designed by Gilroy Roberts, while the reverse side displays the presidential seal designed by Frank Gasparro. This design was introduced in 1964 after Kennedy's assassination, and it replaced the Benjamin Franklin half-dollar. The Kennedy half-dollar became one of the most iconic and emotional tributes in American coinage history. Now, the 1971 half-dollar was a major turning point in U.S. coin production. That's because it was the first year the coin was struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition instead of the 40% silver alloy used between 1965 and 1970. So, if you find a 1971 half-dollar that appears to be silver, it's worth taking a close look, because genuine silver 1971 halves should not exist in normal circulation. Some 1971 half-dollars were accidentally struck on leftover 40% silver planches from 1970, making them rare mint errors worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars today. The composition of a standard 1971 half-dollar is 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to an inner core of pure copper, giving it a total weight of 11.34 grams and a diameter of 30.6 millimeters. The edges are reeded, and the coin has a smooth, shiny appearance when uncirculated. Over time, circulated pieces tend to develop a grayish or dull tone due to the metal alloy and handling wear. In 1971, the United States Mint produced half-dollars at three main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The 1971 coin without a mint mark was struck in Philadelphia, the 1971 D was minted in Denver, and the 1971 S was minted in San Francisco as a proof coin. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 155 million coins, while Denver produced more than 302 million, and the San Francisco Mint created over 3 million proof coins. Because of such high mintages, most 1971 half-dollars are common in circulated condition, but their condition, strike quality, and potential mint errors can drastically influence value. Collectors often look for coins in uncirculated or mint state condition graded by professional grading standards. A 1971 D or 1971 P half-dollar in MS65 or higher condition can bring a nice premium compared to face value. Proof versions from the San Francisco Mint, especially those with strong cameo contrast or deep cameo finish, are popular among collectors and can be worth several dollars depending on condition and certification. However, the real excitement for coin hunters comes from error varieties. The 1971 half-dollar has several known minting errors that can be worth significant money. One of the most valuable is the 1971 D struck on a 40% silver planchet. This rare mistake occurred when leftover silver blanks from the previous year were accidentally used in production. These coins can weigh slightly more, around 11.5 grams instead of the standard 11.34 grams, and will have a distinctive silver edge rather than the usual copper stripe visible on the side. If authenticated, such coins have sold for over $10,000 at auction. Another error to look out for is the double die obverse, where parts of the lettering or the Kennedy portrait appear slightly doubled. This can be seen in areas like the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." These coins are scarce and can sell for hundreds of dollars depending on the clarity of the doubling. There are also off-center strikes, die cracks, planchet clips, and other minor mint errors that can add collectible interest and increase value. When checking a 1971 half-dollar, you should first look at the edge of the coin. If you see a solid silver edge without a copper color band, there's a chance it might be a silver planchet error. Next, check the mint mark and inspect the coin under magnification for doubling or unusual features. Weighing the coin with a precise digital scale can also help identify if it's struck on the wrong planchette. In circulated condition, most 1971 half dollars are worth around 50 cents to $1, but uncirculated and error coins can bring much more. Coins graded MS-65 can range from $10 to $40, and proof coins in pristine condition can sell between $15 and $50 or higher. The rare silver error examples and high-grade specimens with strong luster or unique toning can reach thousands of dollars in value. Collectors appreciate the 1971 half dollar not just for its potential worth, but also for its historical role in the transition away from silver coinage. It marks the beginning of the modern era of U.S. clad coins, and as the first copper-nickel Kennedy half, it holds a special place in numismatic history. Many people still save these coins from pocket change as keepsakes of the Kennedy era and as potential collectibles for the future. If you're searching rolls of half dollars or visiting coin shops, it's always worth checking for 1971 coins with unusual characteristics. Pay attention to weight, edge color, and overall condition. Sometimes, what looks like an ordinary coin can turn out to be a valuable find. Collectors and treasure hunters have discovered silver 1971 halves in bank rolls and inherited collections, proof that these rarities can still surface unexpectedly. To preserve the value of your coin, avoid cleaning or polishing it, as this can damage the surface and reduce its collectible appeal. Instead, store it in a protective coin holder or capsule to prevent wear. If you believe you have a valuable or error example, getting it authenticated and graded can confirm its legitimacy and market value. Overall, the 1971 Kennedy half dollar remains a fascinating piece of American coinage. From its historical background honoring President Kennedy, to the introduction of new metal compositions, and the rare mint errors that keep collectors searching, this coin truly represents a bridge between the silver era and modern U.S. currency. Even though millions were made, a small number of rare varieties and pristine examples continue to capture attention in the coin collecting world. Next up, the 1972 half-dollar coin from the United States is one of the most fascinating coins in American history. This coin belongs to the famous Kennedy half-dollar series, which began in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination. The 1972 half-dollar carries deep historical meaning, interesting mint details, and collectible value that every coin enthusiast loves to learn about. When you look closely at a 1972 half-dollar, you'll notice the profile of President John F. Kennedy on the obverse side, designed by Gilroy Roberts. His portrait has become one of the most recognized images in United States coinage. The reverse side shows the presidential seal, designed by Frank Gasparro, featuring the American eagle holding arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing strength and peace. Now, the 1972 half-dollar was produced in 3 different locations: the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Coins from Philadelphia do not have a mint mark, coins from Denver carry the D mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint coins have the S mint mark. Each mint produced different quantities, and that directly affects the rarity and value of these coins today. In 1972, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 153 million half-dollars, the Denver Mint made over 141 million, and the San Francisco Mint produced about 3.26 million proof coins. Because of these large numbers, the 1972 half-dollar is not considered extremely rare in circulated condition. However, uncirculated and proof coins can hold impressive value, especially if they have strong luster, clean surfaces, and no wear marks. The composition of the 1972 half-dollar is a copper-nickel clad, which means it has an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to an inner core of pure copper. This makes the coin durable and resistant to corrosion, but unlike the earlier Kennedy half-dollars from 1964, it does not contain any silver. The 1964 version was 90% silver, but by 1972, the silver had been completely removed from circulating half-dollars. Collectors often look for unique varieties and mint errors in the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar. Some of the known varieties include die cracks, double dies, and off-center strikes. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die obverse, where you can see doubling on Kennedy's profile or the inscriptions like "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." These kinds of coins can fetch a much higher price among collectors, depending on the strength of the doubling and the coin's overall condition. Another detail that can impact the value of a 1972 half-dollar is its strike quality. Coins with sharp details and full hairlines on Kennedy's portrait are considered high quality. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, especially those with deep cameo contrast, are particularly admired by collectors. These proof coins were made specifically for collectors using polished dies and planchets, giving them that mirror-like finish that stands out beautifully under the light. When it comes to coin grading, condition plays a massive role in determining value. Circulated 1972 half dollars are typically worth face value, around 50 cents, but uncirculated examples can sell for a few dollars depending on their grade. High-grade examples certified by professional grading companies can reach values between $20 to $50 or even more, especially if the coin is a proof with deep cameo contrast or a rare mint error. Even though the 1972 half dollar is common in circulation, many collectors keep these coins for their historical value. The Kennedy half dollar series marks an important period in American coinage, symbolizing both national pride and remembrance. Many people who lived through the 1960s and 1970s remember collecting Kennedy half dollars as a tribute to the late president, making them emotionally and historically significant. If you have a 1972 half dollar, you might wonder how to tell if yours is valuable. Start by checking for the mint mark, located just below Kennedy's neck on the obverse side. Look for any doubling in the letters or numbers, and check the coin surfaces for errors or unusual details. If your coin looks sharp and bright, it might be an uncirculated example or even a proof coin. Another factor to consider is packaging. Proof coins originally came in special government-issued sets. If you have a 1972's proof half dollar still sealed in its original case, that can add to its collectible value. These coins were struck with extra care, and they shine with a beautiful contrast between the frosted design and mirror background. Let's talk about the historical context for a moment. In 1972, the United States was undergoing major changes, politically, socially, and economically. The Vietnam War was nearing its end, the Apollo program was concluding, and inflation was rising. Amid all that, the half dollar remained a coin that carried a powerful message, a daily reminder of the beloved President Kennedy's legacy and leadership. Although the coin was widely circulated during the early years of the Kennedy series, by the 1970s people began to hoard them rather than spend them. This led to fewer half dollars being used in everyday transactions, and that's why you rarely see them in circulation today. Most Kennedy half dollars, including the 1972 edition, ended up being saved by collectors or kept as keepsakes. If you're interested in collecting 1972 half dollars, consider starting with a complete mint set from that year. You can find the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco versions, which together represent the full variety of 1972 Kennedy half dollars. Make sure to store them properly, in coin flips or capsules, to prevent tarnishing or scratches. For those who want to explore the potential investment side, coins with high grades or rare errors can increase in value over time. Always keep an eye on the coin market and numismatic trends. Even though the 1972 half dollar is not made of silver, its historical and emotional value gives it lasting appeal among collectors. Now we will explore the 1980 half dollar coin from the United States is one of the most interesting pieces of American coinage history. If you have one of these Kennedy half dollars, you might be holding more value than you think. In this video, we'll explore everything you need to know about the 1980 half dollar coin, its history, features, minting details, metal composition, errors, and how some rare varieties have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Stay tuned till the end because we'll reveal which 1980 half dollars can be worth real money today. The 1980 half dollar was minted at the Denver Mint, identified by the D mint mark located on the obverse side of the coin just below Kennedy's neck. This coin is part of the Kennedy half dollar series, which began in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination in 1963. Designed by Gilroy Roberts and Frank Gasparo, the obverse of the coin features the left-facing portrait of Kennedy, while the reverse shows the presidential seal with a heraldic eagle holding an olive branch and arrows. The coin's mottos include, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and "E Pluribus Unum." The 1980 Kennedy half dollar was struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition, meaning it has a core of pure copper and outer layers of copper-nickel alloy. The coin weighs about 11.34 grams, with a diameter of 30.6 millimeters and a reeded edge. Over 33 million of these coins were minted at the Denver Mint in 1980, which makes it a relatively common coin in circulation. However, certain rare varieties, mint errors, and high-grade uncirculated examples can be worth significantly more to collectors. If your 1980 half dollar is in circulated condition, it usually holds face value, 50 cents. But if it's in uncirculated or mint state condition, its value increases. A coin graded MS-65 or higher by professional grading standards can be worth between $5 and $20 depending on its luster, strike quality, and eye appeal. Coins with perfect surfaces, no scratches, and sharp details command higher prices. Now, let's talk about the rare and valuable varieties that make the 1980D half-dollar coin exciting for collectors. One of the most desirable finds is the 1980D half-dollar with minting errors such as off-center strikes, double die obverses, die cracks, and clipped planches. A double die obverse error can show slight doubling in letters like Liberty or In God We Trust. These coins can sell for $50 to several $100 depending on the visibility of the error. Another rare type is the 1980D half-dollar struck on the wrong planchette, such as being struck on a quarter or foreign coin blank. These minting errors are highly collectible, and values can soar into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on rarity and demand. Even slight die rotations or strike-through errors, where foreign material interfered with the design during minting, can add substantial premium value. Collectors also look for proof-like surfaces and coins with full details on Kennedy's hair and the eagle's feathers on the reverse. Coins with strong strikes and high luster stand out and can earn higher grades, increasing their market value. Always check for original mint luster, minimal contact marks, and sharp design details, as these are key indicators of high-grade examples. The 1980D half-dollar also represents the post-silver era of U.S. coinage. By this time, all Kennedy half-dollars were made from copper-nickel clad instead of 40% silver, which ended in 1970. However, collectors still seek these coins because they symbolize the transition period of American coinage, combining modern minting technology with the historic Kennedy legacy. When examining your 1980D half-dollar, always use a magnifying glass and good lighting to look closely at both sides of the coin. Pay attention to the date, mint mark, rim, lettering, and surface details. Any irregularity or doubling could point to an error or variety worth much more than face value. Keep your coins in protective holders or flips to prevent scratches, as condition is one of the biggest factors in determining value. In auctions and collector markets, the 1980D half-dollar in superb gem condition, MS67 or higher, has been known to sell for over $100. While not every coin will reach that value, having a coin in pristine condition can significantly boost your collection's worth. Many coin enthusiasts build complete sets of Kennedy half-dollars from 1964 to the present day, and having a brilliant 1980D example adds historical and collectible appeal. Let's also touch on the cultural importance of this coin. The Kennedy half-dollar remains one of the most recognized coins in American history. Even though it's rarely seen in daily transactions today, it continues to be minted for collectors each year. The 1980D version captures a specific era in U.S. minting, the early 1980s, when coin design precision and quality began improving significantly due to technological advancements in the minting process. For coin collectors and treasure hunters, the key takeaway is to always check your pocket change, coin rolls, or inherited collections. Sometimes, a regular-looking coin like the 1980D half-dollar can turn out to be a valuable find, especially if it contains a rare error or is preserved in flawless condition. Always research recent auction results, and stay updated with the latest trends in coin collecting. The market for Kennedy half-dollars remains strong because of their connection to American history and the enduring fascination with President Kennedy's legacy. Even modern issues attract new collectors every year, and older pieces like the 1980D continue to gain attention as they age and become less common in circulation. If you're interested in building a complete set of Kennedy half-dollars, make sure to include the 1980D mint mark. It's an important piece that tells the story of the Denver Mint's production quality and the evolution of coinage materials. Some collectors even focus solely on Denver Mint coins, making the 1980D a must-have for a complete mint mark collection.